Two invites have been handed out. Two remain up for grabs here in the friendly confines of the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena on the Six Nations of the Grand River as we wrap up quarterfinal action in the Arenalacrosseleague with a playoff doubleheader. And our first game has the Toronto Monarchs up against the Paris Riverwolves. Hello again, Lance Wynn working alongside JVI Productions. The Brampton Express and Whitby Steelhawks have booked their tickets. The final pieces to the puzzle will be determined today. Starting goalies for the Monarchs, it'll be Joel Watson. And at the other end, Chase Cosgrove will get the start for the Riverwolves. Officials for today's first game, Mac Daddy Abbott is the crew chief. He's working with Seb Bedoin and Brad Fennell. Head coaches for Toronto in his rookie season, Nick Krepensek. His assistants are Justin Wilson-Kirby and Ryan Kelly. And for the Riverwolves in his 8th season, it's Jamie Dubrick. He's assisted by his partner in crime, Chris Driscoll. And as we get set for the first of two here at the ILA, and we talk about the earlier quarterfinals, of course, Brampton's booked their ticket, Whitby has booked theirs, but these two games feature two teams very evenly matched. Monarchs come in 6-8, they finish 6th, and the Riverwolves 8-6, they finish 3rd. We are underway off the draw, and the first possession belongs to the Toronto Monarchs. They'll work it around, create some space, of course. Keep an eye out there. Parker Pfeiffer, member of the Fife Dog Squad, leading scorer in the Arenalacrosseleague this year as he scoops that up, and he is a ball hawk. Keep an eye on him. Riley Ford, of course, Jordan Dance out there as well. Good defense by the Riverwolves as they start off holding down things in the defensive end. They'll get their first look on offense. Keep an eye, of course, Caden Merritt. Big scorer, as is Curtis Woodland. And this guy right here, Cayman Daibo. He has been sensational in his first year in the Arenalacrosseleague. They'll work it to the left side, kick it back to the right. Brown trying to duck his way in. Daibo with 3 on the shot clock, trying to feed and make a one-handed catch to Ty Argent. And remember, Ty Argent, of course, made a team switch and is now wearing the Paris uniform. He's been a big piece to that puzzle. Working it up now is Harlan. Harlan will get it over. Jordan Dance will slow things down. And pretty much everything in this high-powered offense for the Monarchs goes through the dancer, Jordan Dance. Cody Innes skipped that across. Good hands. 10 on the shot clock. Dance spins his way through. Gets a shot off Cosgrove. Save. Rebound. Pops out of Innes' stick. Loose now, and the Riverwolves jump all over it in transition. So far, Paris defense has been tight. Harrison Brooks doing a good job. They'll set it over. Noah Simonelli, they're looking inside to Merritt, tied up. And that shot from Davis Prince held on tight by Watson. And a quick outlet pass will send away Jennings. Cohen Jennings looking for a screen. Ford sent him one, but didn't do a whole lot. Now it's Pfeiffer. He's going to bring it all the way over, skip it across. Tanner Buck, of course, another one, member of that deadly trio. Led the league with 40 goals, and that's why the Bucks stopped here. Great move by Tanner Buck. He opens the scoring. It's 1-0 for the Monarchs. Buck, like I said, finished with 40 goals, tops in the league. Add 34 helpers to that, and he was in the scoring mix, of course. And these two teams met twice this season. Paris won both times, 11-10. That was the most recent meeting in March. And 17-15, that was in February. So gives you an idea how closely and evenly matched these two teams are. Off the draw, and we'll keep an eye on that, of course, as Dance now to work, setting up the offense. Ford gets his first touch, working one-on-one. Kick back out, swing around. Ty Gesso out there as well, working with Innes. Nothing doing on the give and go. And Cosgrove now with the bounce. And they'll look to move it up in a hurry, and they do to Daibo. Daibo, quick pass, right on the crease. Fake, great save, Watson. Rebound scooped up by the Monarchs, and they'll bring it back the other way with Dilks. Jamison Dilks, KG vet, been in the Arenalacrosseleague its entirety, and he gives way to Buck. Buck finds Pfeiffer. Ford in alone, tried to go 5-hole. That got closed up by Cosgrove. Graham Bergsman now will look to turn it the other way. He'll move it up now. The surprise, and a pleasant surprise, in Marcus Minichiello. Minichiello, as he told me it's best to pronounce. He likes to make sure you get that little bit of Italian in there. Curtis Woodland, the big man, trying to reach out and touch someone. Couldn't do it there. Now Devin Dunkerley on the move. Going to press the issue. Dunkerley, his shot finds the mark. So again, good transition offense by the Monarchs, and they go up 2-0. Wouldn't expect, you certainly expect a whole lot from that trio, but not from Devin Dunkerley. Good job to take advantage of that. When I had a chance to speak with the Monarchs coaching staff prior to this game, they talked about, number one, playing 4 consistent quarters. They felt like they haven't given a full 60 minutes, and that's been an issue in some of their losses. Second thing, of course, stay composed, but above all, capitalize on all opportunities you get. This Paris team is dangerous. Brown will control it. Marley Angus out there. He'll swing it across, and they'll set things up now as they'll look to try to find some rhythm now on offense, these Riverwolves. Carson Moyer out there. That bounce shot right on by Angus, stopped by Watson. And now trying to turn it up the other way. Here come the Monarchs. Peyton Wallace weaves through a few defenders, gets it over. Battersby can't handle it. It's going to come back the other way. On the move. Here come the Riverwolves. And Morrow did a good job. Gives way now to Daibo. Daibo one-on-one. Gets a step. Daibo tried to tuck it by Watson. Nothing doing. Watson with a quick outlet pass. Jennings now will counter. So end-to-end we go. When I spoke with the Riverwolves coaching staff, they're number one, knowing full well. Jennings on the run, top corner. Monarchs are feeling the funk right now as they lead this one 3-0. Beauty pass. And a sensational finish as Jennings, in full stride, picks the far corner on Cosgrove. So Paris's coaching staff, Jamie Dubrick and Chris Driscoll, they talked about staying out of the penalty box, knowing full well that this team is dangerous 5-on-4. Their power play lethal, and to try to utilize transition. Chance here. Nakamura! Koichi Nakamura, the face-off specialist, rocks the cradle and finds his first playoff goal in the Arenalacrosseleague. Big one for the Riverwolves as that stops a 3-goal run now, and it's 3-1. Of course, Nakamura started on the emergency list, was signed by the Riverwolves, and I think that was a good signing by Jamie Dubrick as he helps solidify things in that face-off circle and comes away with a big transition goal. Jordan Dance now to work. He'll get it back, lost it though, and it's fished up. Cosgrove has a man. Up ahead, it's Ellerton. Brown, Ellerton, back of the net with a bounce. If you blinked, you missed it. 2 straight, it's a 3-2 game. Give Chase Cosgrove the second assist on that one. On a fine-looking transition goal by the Riverwolves. I know I tend to go on and on sometimes about the value of Nick Ellerton, but boy, he sure covers all facets of the game. Defense, transition, can play some offense for you, as Lemmy will pick it up and send it back to Ben Heidecker. They'll work the 2-man game. And now Ford, isolated with Minichiello on him. Swings it around, Gesso gets it back. Ford, 8 on the shot clock, leans in, great help, and who else but Nick Ellerton coming from the weak side to strip it, and Minichiello now on the run. Riverwolves, Simonelli, he'll think better of it, pulls it back out, and they'll ship it across to Woodland, left side. Woodland On the run, tried to go bounce, never found its way through. He'll pick it up, swinging around Merritt. Merritt working one-on-one with 5 on the shot clock. Gets double teamed. Aaron Walker, great help. Rebound, backhand try wide. Jennings now will pick it up and move it up to Aaron Funky Walker. Dirty Talker here in the building. Has his supporting cast here. Not watching. They're here in attendance. Good to have them. Swing around. Pfeiffer. Jesso inside. Dance had it. Lost it. Bergsma. He'll counter the other way. We're under 8.5 here in this first quarter. Semifinal number 3. When this one is all said and done, the final 2 pieces to be put into place here today. Kick out. Daibo. Swing it back. 5 on the shot clock. Whole lot of swimming, but no one going anywhere. And Watson, good save there to close off that shot from Moyer. And now Harlan trying to get a step on Daibo. Harlan cuts in, swinging around. Fife Dog tried to go down, stopped by Cosgrove. So Parker Pfeiffer tried to swing that one, go up and dump it low, but Cosgrove was having none of it. Now Cam Mancini. Mancini bumped out of that circle. He'll chase around, reverse, and head back the other way. Trying to get in closer, but that's a crease call. And with 7:23 to go, that will take us to our first officials timeout. Set to go after our officials timeout. 3-2 game here, under 7.5 to go. Third quarter final in the 2025 Arenalacrosseleague postseason. Monarchs to work on O, spread the floor wide. Pfeiffer to top, working with Jesso, swing it to Buck. Buck gets a screen, working with Dance. Kick back over, Dance gets it back. 10 on the shot clock. 2 skips later, that one's deflected. And that's going to go back over the line. Scooped up, no reset. 4 on the shot clock. Great shovel. Dancer lets it go, missed that far corner. That'll be a shot clock violation, possession to the Riverwolves. So another good defensive stance. As you can see that Paris did a good job to really spread the floor wide and put the pressure, extend that pressure out. Woodland now with Dilks on him. Woodland. He'll survey, skip Daibo. 10 on the shot clock. Angus trying to slip through. Can't do it. Great defense. Close that up. Here come the Monarchs. In transition, Dunkerley. Harris. Shovel. Shot. Goal. Well, I tell you, that wasn't the smoothest bit of transition lacrosse, but it was effective. And another big X-factor goal for the Monarchs. They lead 4-2. So Devin Dunkerley with his second transition goal of the game. And when I talk about X-factor guys, those are guys that aren't usually on the score sheet but could have an impact on the game based on the flow. And I talked about Ellerton for Paris. Well, you got to talk Dunkerley for Toronto, and he's been exceptional early on. We've hit the 6-minute mark. Brown trying to weave his way closer to that net. Angus will swing around. Merritt. You figure Merritt's going to have to get in the mix here. Nakamura trying to go for the dunk and nothing doing. And that's a whole lot of Joel Watson there in the way. So to try to get that dunk attempt, going to be awfully tough. You probably have to go down, not up. Ford swings it across. Pfeiffer inside. Great save. Cosgrove reflexes. Good job by Ford to pick up that offensive rebound, and they'll go back to work now with under 20. Innes. Looking. Good defense. Gets popped out. Slips through 2. Innes! In the building. Big goal there. Monarchs 5-2 lead. Cody Innes. He's been quiet the last couple of regular season games, but boy, did he ever step up there, slipping through 2 defenders. And parking that one on the far corner on Cosgrove. So right now, this has truly been a game of runs. 3-0 run by the Monarchs back-to-back goals by the Riverwolves, and now the Monarchs have reeled off a couple more here to take a 5-2 lead. Battersby out there working. The flip goes to Ford. Ford finally corrals it cleanly. And it got to do a manual count on the shot clock. Duck in Battersby. Swing across Buck. Shot clock winding down 8. Jennings turns the corner, and that goes off the post. Rebound. Riverwolves pick it up. Move it up quick. Angus. Angus in alone. Angus post off post. So a whole lot of metal, but no mesh. And here come Toronto the other way. Glorious chance for Marley Angus. Just wasn't able to capitalize. Back to its Buck. Buck. Fake to shovel. Curled back out. Swinging around. Dance couldn't hang on to it. Ballhawk Pfeiffer keeps it on the right side. And he gets back up now. Good job, and it's Cody Menzies. 5 on the shot clock. Innes. On the run. Bullet right on. Rebound. Innes. Wide of the mark. So dodging a bullet there, the Riverwolves now. Bergsma. 4 minutes to go here, opening quarter. Woodland has Prince. Prince. Tried to twist her. Nothing doing. Rebound. Woodland. Kick back out. They'll slow it down. Moyer will swing it across to Merritt. Merritt shot right on. Watson gobbles up that rebound but throws it away. But a chance here as Lemmy will run under it. And if I said Leamy, I was wrong. It is Lemmy. And now Buck. Working that side with Ford. Skip. Pfeiffer. He's going to dump that underneath. Ford had a notion. 3 on the shot clock. Going to have to take that shot. Wide of the mark. Almost went off a foot. Deflected. Good job by the Riverwolves. They hold it down here. And now Connor Scott. He'll work it across the line. Dybo, wrong stick side. He'll kick it down low. They'll work it from the left. Moyer trying to shed a defender. Does, but nowhere to go after that. And he'll wait now. Merritt inside, and that trying to go up and over and does. Beauty job, and I wasn't sure Ty Argent had that, but he only needs a sliver of daylight. Big goal now, 5-3. Tell you get Ty Argent going, and these Riverwolves with Merritt and Woodland, along with Dybo, got a lot of weapons to go to. 2:47 to play here in this opening quarter. Just remind you, stick around, second half of our doubleheader. Peterborough Timbermen, Six Nations Snipers, and off the draw, Nakamura in charge. Angus dodges one. He'll keep it on the half boards and wait for the rest of the offense to filter out with Woodland. Swing around Dybo. Dybo, nothing doing there. Inside tight, Nakamura, but that's picked off. Good job there by Mason Kaminga. Kaminga now on the run, has a man with him. Pfeiffer inside, Lemmy, and nothing doing there. Great save, Cosgrove. Woodland now is going to have to zip it up, and he does to Minicello. Goaltenders making the saves when they need to right now. Minicello one-on-one. He's been dynamite in transition as well. Chased out by Dilks. Rolls it over. Argent swinging around. Merritt with 10. Merritt shot. That's right on. And going to have to move it a little tighter. That's a big body in Watson to find some space. And he zips that up. One hopper. Jennings. Can't corral it cleanly. Going to have to fight for it now. And Ballhawk swipes it, but a good job there to get on it by Simonelli. Moves it up to Bergsma. Bergsma's going to draw the double team. He'll spin out of one and dump that off. Get some relief, Moyer. Under a minute and a half to go here, first quarter. Woodland. Oh, he can let it go. Good pad save, Watson. Bergsma in the middle. Moyer tried to swim his way through. Had his stick checked. Ball still loose. And the Monarchs come away with it. They've got numbers. 2-on-1. Wallace dumping over, and Harlan able to regroup, but transition opportunity goes by, and You can see we're into the final minute here, leaving a man down in the offensive end. Jesso, Dance, in tight, wide open, up, down, big save, Cosgrove. So point blank, stymied was Wallace, and now Brown will bring it down. 35 seconds. The Prince, Davis Prince on the run, well wide of the mark. Good job by Brown to retrieve that, no reset. Moyer, he'll flip Merritt, skip Brown. Brown's shot right on, stop. And a good scoop there by Dilks. Dilks moves it up. Chance here now for Lemmy. And he puts it 5-hole, but there was none. And 7 seconds on the game clock. On the move, Minicello working it up, 3. And doesn't see the clock, and 15 minutes have flown on by. 5-3 for the visitors from Toronto. All set for second quarter. That was probably one of the quickest first 15 we played in the Arena Lacrosse League this season. Off the draw. Good job as Benny Heidecker battles for that one. Him and Nakamura pretty much split in the circle in that first half, although we didn't have a whole lot of face-offs, but either way, it's Pfeiffer now. Switch hands, too much on that. Ellerton hit the deck, and now here come the Riverwolves, and it's Angus. On the move, 3-on-2. Kick back, Moyer lets it go! That's the way you play this game. Fastest game on 2 feet, and it's 5-4. Carson Moyer has already been a factor here in this ball game and has stepped up. He's done a good job, and they seem to have a lot more success in transition than they do in the half-court set right now. And off the draw, there's Heidecker again, coming away with possession for the Monarchs. Kaminga will hold down the line, and it'll all start with the dancer. Jordan Dance gets a screen from Buck. He'll zip it across. And Jesso fed forward, and another good save, though, by Cosgrove, who rolled around and kept it out of the net. Minicello working on the half boards. Tried to ship it to across, but nothing doing there, and now here's Jesso. Two-man game working with Pfeiffer. They'll kick it back to the dancer. He'll survey. And let it go. Good save, Cosgrove off the pad. Dancer going to track down his own rebound. 20 more to work with for the Monarchs. Inside, Jesso on the run. I tell you, that's a tough shot. Catch that on his wrong stick side and park it from whence he came. Big response. It's 6-4. So Ty Jesso in the mix with his first postseason goal. And a big answer for the Monarchs. Off the draw again. Toronto will control. And Wallace. And that's going to be, we're going to have our first penalty of the game here, and it's going to go against the Riverwolves. So a definite holding call. No argument either way. And Marley Angus, the guilty party. So the Toronto Monarchs in their lethal power play will go to work. 51% doesn't seem like much, but it's been the difference in a lot of their games, how well it's performed. And you've got Pfeiffer at the top, Jesso and Innes working that right side, Dance and Buck on the left. Pfeiffer. That Buck from a tough angle, and good job by Cosgrove. And now Ellerton's going to try to run it out, but Buck strips him. And an easy turnover as they close that up. And now Pfeiffer's going to reset. Jesso back out late. They'll work it with the dancer. Jordan Dance changes the angle right on. Stop. Cosgrove look for the outlet. He'll unload it. And it's picked off. Great interception by the Fife dog as he goes airborne. Minicello would have been long gone had there been a little more air under that pass. Just over a minute left in the power play. Gesso, skip. Pfeiffer! Leading point getter in the league adds another, this one in the postseason. First power play opportunity, first power play goal. And it's 7-4 Toronto. 103 points is what the Fife dog finished up with. Got bragging rights over his brother, Devin. But his brother, Devin, knows sitting comfortably right now with a spot in the Final Four. His brother's still with plenty of time, plenty of work to do. Nakamura gets that one. And Paris now. Seems like it's been a while since their offense was out there. Angus on the curl. Tybo dumps it inside. Probably an ill-advised pass. He was looking for Simonelli. Good hustle. It's knocked over. Argent, great work. 2 on the shot clock. He'll let it go. Wide of the mark. But excellent effort for all for naught. And Toronto now will bring it back with Jennings. Menzies out there. He'll roll over to that left side. Guarded tight by Brooks. Ford. Mancini on him. Screen Buck. Roll Buck. Buck. Great save, Cosgrove. Rebound scooped up by Ford. He'll change direction, come back out, and he'll try to go to the sidearm, but couldn't get one off. Bergsma going to kick that around, try to scoop it. Innes all over him like a jersey. Ball still loose. Shot clock ticking down. Scrum in that corner, and that'll be a shot clock violation and belong to the Riverwolves. Good job on the defensive end by Paris as we creep toward the 11-minute mark. First half, Prince. Chased by Harlan. He'll roll that to Dybo. Dybo. He'll duck back out. Moyer swings it around. Woodland, 10 on the shot clock. Dybo ducks in. Dybo diving but stopped by Watson. And it's knocked down. Harris, they got a man. And Crawford in alone. And he's stopped by Cosgrove. Rebound, picked up, battle for it. Hanser in there. Brown in there. Morrow, and Morrow comes away with it. Harris doesn't have a stick. Probably should exit stage left, but he'll have to stay out there now on D. See if the Riverwolves can exploit that hole. Duck it in. Simonelli, great save, Watson. Back the other way, it's Kaminga on the move. Lemmy. Dance is going to slow things down. Let the rest of the offense come on out. 3-goal lead for the Monarchs. Pfeiffer has some room, leans in, kicks out. Dance runs into a wall but stays standing. Has it stripped away. Good job on the recovery by the Riverwolves. And that one's aired out a little too far by Cosgrove. Angus is going to be in a race for it with Dilks. And it's going to get fished out, knocked away by Watson, corralled by the Monarchs. Jennings. Under 9.5 to go here. Second quarter. Been an outstanding game so far. Pfeiffer chased down. Good hesitation, diving. What a save, Cosgrove. Stuck out that right arm. Buck working with 20 more. Sheds a defender, underhand, stopped by Cosgrove. This time it's picked up. Riverwolves will move it up. Minicello, backdoor, has a man, dumps it off. Simonelli, up, down, back of the net. Noah Simonelli in transition. Great feed on the back door, 7-5. Great job by the Riverwolves as they have executed in transition. Seems like all of their goals have come via transition. You look at who scored. Now it's Moyer, Simonelli, Ellerton, and Argent, and Nakamura. So you know at least 3 of those 5 are in transition. Monarchs have done a good job in transition and in the half court. This time, no. Paris controls off the draw, and they'll swing it back door to Woodland. Woodland will get set, head over to that left side with Merritt and Angus. Woodland, you get him going, going to be a tough customer to stop. Woodland ducks in, shovel back. Angus, bouncer. That one was partially deflected. Ball loose. Woodland battling for it. Bodies colliding in there with Merritt, and it's scooped up Monarchs. Good interference by Jennings as he took out Merritt, and now they'll set it up with Dance. Innes going to take it over. They'll jump start it from the right. Skip it back. Dancer. And that's too much on that. That doesn't work anywhere, as that will turn it back over to Paris. Morrow. Backdoor. Daibo. What a save, Watson. Rebound. Brown. Kick over, and that's through the crease. So a good idea, but nothing doing. And now Dunkerley has a man. Ahead. Buck. Top corner. Tanner Buck came flying out of that back door and parked it for an 8-5 lead. That was all about the pass in transition, and it was right in tight to Buck, so he was the only one that could get that pass, and he wasted no time going far side on Chase Cosgrove. So far, if you look at what the coaches talked about, Toronto about consistency and capitalizing, Paris about staying out of the box and transition opportunities, and you got to figure both coaches can't be really upset with the way their teams have played. They're doing the things that they do well. Toronto, the recipient of that ball going out of bounds, they'll go back to work on O with a 3-goal lead. Buck. Delayed penalty coming here to the Riverwolves. Joel Watson will make that slow run, the long run to the bench. Extra attacker with 7 on the shot clock. Pfeiffer. Skip. That shot right on. Rebound belongs to Dance. 20 more. So they'll have a chance here to capitalize with the extra man. Menzies. Menzies flips it over. Buck inside. Fife. Skip. Buck. Sidearm. Good save. That's going to be loose. Buck's going to handle that. 20 more. Clock keeps on ticking. Opportunities again. Pfeiffer inside. Dance was posting up, and finally the Riverwolves get possession, and with 6:48, that'll take us to our officials' timeout. We'll let the dust settle, come back with the details. Ready after our officials' timeout, so it'll be a too many men on the floor call against the Riverwolves. That will allow the Monarchs to go to their second power play of the game. They're 1-for-1 with the man advantage. And this again was one of the issues that Coach Dubrick mentioned. Got to stay out of the penalty box. They know how lethal this Toronto power play is. They've got two of the top scorers in the league out there in Buck and Pfeiffer. They'll work it around the horn, give everyone a touch before they go to work. Dance at the top this time. Buck weaves his way in, rings it off the iron. Scooped up by Angus. Angus tried to flip it, but Innes was relentless, and a good job to track it down. Angus will leave that, get back in the box. They'll reset. They'll close that box up nice and tight and keep those shots way out for Cosgrove. Dance again, and it rolls in. So a tough one, but you got to figure Dance already rung one off the pipe the last time he took a shot. That one off the pipe, off the back leg of Cosgrove and in. First of the postseason for the Dancer. And now with it being 9-5, largest lead of the game is 4. Off the draw, Nakamura shoots it back, but right to Walker, and Walker will work it over the line, find that back door, and work it to Buck. We're at the 6-minute mark here of this second quarter. Buck looking, finds Gesso bumped out. works his way back in, skips it across, back to Dance. Dance lets it go. That'll go up. Could be a transition opportunity. Great job by Moyer. Moyer going to take it in himself. Moyer's shot, tried to go 5-hole. Picked that up, rebound, stopped by Watson. So 2 chances, good effort by Moyer. Came up empty on both. And now backdoor, work it to Ford. Pfeiffer getting worked over by Owen Dale. He'll swing it around. Dance. Ford with 10 on the shot clock. Pfeiffer. Skip. Quick shot. Stopped by Cosgrove. Dance. Great job. Took out Mancini. Retrieved that. Give his team another chance here. Fife dog. Inside. Nothing doing. Good defense there. Chance for Innes. Wrong stick side. He'll reverse. Nothing doing. That pass to Dance. I don't know how anyone could have handled that. That was more like a shot. And the Riverwolves, after surrendering an offensive rebound, hold tight and get it back. And that's as close to a slash as you can get by Buck without it being called. And Angus now will work it to Merritt. So if you're the Riverwolves, you need a little something here as we hit 4.5 minutes. Second quarter, Argent. Simonelli. 10 on the shot clock. Merritt shot right on. Watson's been steady, and he'll unload. That one, a good grab there by Dunkerley. He's been outstanding in his half. Down low on the doorstep, but Ford couldn't corral it. And a good job to turn it the other way. Here come the Riverwolves. Brown gets chased, but he'll wait. Merritt now. Moyer looking for something to develop. Hesitation taken down by Kuminga. Gets back up. Merritt ducks under. Merritt went off the crossbar. So bounce is going the way of the Monarchs right now. Lemmy. Wrong stick side. Waits. Dancer! How you like me now? Beauty backhand. 10-5 Toronto. Jordan Dance, he has got all the tricks of the trade, I tell you, and sometimes the big challenge is knowing which trick to pull out at which time, and he seems to find the right time and the right trick more often than not. Second of the game for him, and largest lead now is 5. Nakamura, Heidecker again. Nakamura. This time he's going to scoop that up, get checked, get some backup, and it's Argent. So if you're Parrish, you've gone on a lull here. And Argent. They need a spark from someone. Argent, that one goes off a defender. Simonelli couldn't handle it. Ellerton does a good job, but it goes over the timeline, and now Monarchs with a chance. Crawford pushing the issue. And they'll pull it right back out and set things up. Mancini almost had that one picked off, but just a little too late. Ford, 3 minutes to go. First half. Dancer may have gotten away with a little interference there as it'll go back behind the net. Ford, kick out to no one. And Brown. He'll move it up. So where does the spark come from if you're the Riverwolves? You got to look to your captain first and then find a way to go elsewhere. Get guys to chip in. Curtis Woodland, one-on-one. Woodland peels out, 5 on the shot clock. Moyer, one-on-one. Moyer tried to go through a crowd, but that was knocked down actually by Woodland. And the Monarchs hold strong now and look to move it up. Walker. He'll work it with Kuminga. They'll get over the timeline, set it up with Gesso. Right now, if you're Toronto, you have put together a fine first half. Buck on the roll. Buck goes off the crossbar and out of play. So it'll be reset to 20. And possession remains right here with the Monarchs. Innes. Skip back. Buck looking for the roll, but Dancer was all wrapped up. Scott took Dancer down on a bit of a late hit. And now Paris will move it up with Minicello. He'll sight the back door. Argent plays the carom. Merritt behind the net. Daibo. Under a minute and a half to go here. Daibo. And his underhand finds its way. I don't know how, but it snuck through the pads of Watson, and a big goal for the Riverwolves. So Daibo, I thought for a second there, may have held on to that ball too long, but I think he waited for things to develop, got some traffic in front, and I don't think Watson had a good look at where that came from. 10-6, minute 14 to go here, first half. So a reminder, to following this one, Peterborough Timbermen, Six Nations Snipers. Winner of this game, of course, will join Brampton and Whitby in next week's Final Four. Ellerton, give and go. Ellerton twister stop by Watson. Great give and go. Problem is that wrong stick side, and that limits the angles. As Harlan now under a minute to go. Buck ducks in. Buck tried to go low. Cosgrove, great save. Paris trying to counter now with Moyer. 45 seconds. Moyer 1-on-3, and he'll try to get a step. Moyer wrapped up, diving, saved by Watson. Creased the call anyway. And running into Watson's like running into a wall, and we're going to get a timeout called, and the Monarchs will take it with 34.8 seconds left on the clock. We'll take a quick break. So ready to set the stage for the final 5.8 seconds here in this first half. Riverwolves will have to make a quick pass. Net empty for the extra attacker. So whatever they do, they're going to have to do it in a hurry with no time to spare. Ball always moves faster than the feet. Woodland will inbounds. Here we go. Quick pass. 2. Money. Backhand try, and there's going to be a penalty, so effective as it was, a power play will open up the third quarter, but until then, 30 minutes have been impressively played here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. 10-6 Monarchs. All set for third quarter action, and a slashing call to end the second quarter will give the Paris Riverwolves their first power play opportunity. But right now, Nakamura and Heidecker will continue their battle in the circle. 10-6 the score in favor of the Monarchs. Off the draw, Ellerton will control. So job well done by Nakamura. And now the power play will get set up for the first time, coming in working at a 47% efficiency rate. The Monarchs have killed off 50% of their man-short opportunities. So now Simonelli out there with Daibo on the right side, Woodland at the top, Moyer and Merritt on the left. Interchange, 5 on the shot clock. Daibo's got to let it go here. Kick the angle. Woodland, that one steered aside. Rebound picked up, fresh 20 now for Paris. So you got to figure this is a pivotal time right here for the Riverwolves. Merritt changes the angle, another good pad save loose. Dunkerley, great scoop. Gets pinned up on the boards, bounces off, gets it to Kaminga. Kaminga bounce ahead. Daibo, good job working over Jennings. They get possession, zipped it back up. Moyer in alone. Moyer bounced too much on the ounce, off the rafters, back the other way. Probably should have taken a little more time there based on the opportunity, but just under a minute left now to kill for the Monarchs. Dance working one-on-one. Chase back out. So they'll spread the floor and look to kill some valuable seconds here. Dance. Working one-on-one. Morrow. Switch there. Dance on the run. That one right off the logo. Cosgrove made that look easy. Lofts it up. And here come Paris now with 25 seconds left in the man advantage. So Curtis Woodland certainly has to get going here. He's got to give his team the lift that they need. A goal here would be big, or certainly the next goal anyway. Woodland, swing. Daibo tried to go far side, just missed. No reset, 5. Skip, Merritt shot, partially deflected. Right on, scooped up Daibo. Penalty over, teams back to 5 aside. Woodland, under, shovel, beauty feed. What a finish, Merritt. Oh my, not a power play goal, but that was awfully pretty. So I asked for a little something from Woodland, and he does that and gets Caden Merritt in the mix. Merritt with his first postseason goal, and it's a 10-7 game. So Paris accomplished what they wanted to coming out here in this third. That was to certainly get on the board first. And now off the draw, Riverwolves will control again. Angus ducks by one. He'll pull it back out, though. Wrong stick side. And why is the stick side so important? Hockey and lacrosse, the opposites. Hockey, you'll keep your stick pointed toward the boards. Lacrosse, it's to the center. Merritt tried again to slide it into shorty short. Nothing doing there. Possession belongs to Toronto. Lacrosse, your stick points to the middle of the floor to increase your shooting angle. So when you're a left-handed shot, you play on the right side of the floor. And vice versa. No look, Pfeiffer. That's why the importance of making sure you're on your right stick side. Makes it tougher on the goalie. Innes lets it go. Good save. Rebound, Pfeiffer. Curl back out with 20. Dance on the reset. Forward. Looking inside. Back to Dance. Dance through a crowd. Good save by Cosgrove. Loose ball. Toronto relentless. On it. Scooped up Dance. Inside. Ford taken down, and that's going to be an illegal cross-check for sure. But I tell you, I don't know how Riley Ford got so open right on the doorstep there, and a great job by Dance to find him. So the Monarchs will go back to work with the man advantage, 2 for 2 on the power play. So they have been lethal that way, and I think in that case, that illegal cross-check may have saved a goal. So big hold here, shorthanded for the Riverwolves. Big power play opportunity now for the Monarchs. So the usual suspects out there. Fife's going to be the quarterback again. Dance tried to go in that top corner. You could see where he was looking. Ball hawk all over it. And I'm not even sure that was, they're going to call that back. The door was partially open for Paris. That changed the carom. And Pfeiffer had a beat on it to keep it in the zone. And with that ricochet, it eluded him and came over the line. So I think you have to reset. I think you have to give Toronto the ball with a fresh 20. But again, I'm not wearing stripes, nor do I ever. Looking forward to our next game, where the Six Nations Snipers will be hosting the Peterborough Timbermen with a spot in the Final Four, but in the meantime, between time. So good job by the officials, as that was the case. The door was not closed. And I think they're getting giving an explanation to Jamie Dubrick, although it's Dubrick that's doing all the talking. But I think that's the right call made there based on where the ball should have gone. And I don't think Pfeiffer even needs to jump into that or chime in. Possession right now belongs to Toronto. Should probably leave that at that. Just over 11 and a half to go here. So big power play opportunity for Toronto. In case you missed it, Brampton 19-14 winners over Oshawa to book their spot in next week's Final Four. And defending champion Whitby Steelhawks will move a step closer to defense of their title, 17-12 over the Oswego Bears. Winner of this one will move on, but we can't tell you what the matchups are until the conclusion of our second game. Dance at the top now. He'll work it over. Buck down low. Ford had a notion. Kick. Ball loose. Angus battle for it. Picked up. Dance was on the move too far. Minicello on the hop, on the run. Big strides, and he'll pull this one out. So that was a big play there on a missed opportunity now, and Paris will look to work some clock. Ellerton out there, Moyer out there, Woodland out there. They had the net empty on the shorty, and there's going to be a delayed penalty coming to Toronto. Angus, shovel, knocked down by Dance. Picked up again, Angus. 2 on the shot clock. That's right on. So with 53 seconds left, that power play will be nullified. Toronto will have to send a man into the box. Too many on the floor of the call. So for that 53 seconds, we'll play 4-on-4. And then it'll be a half a power play for the Riverwolves. So Daibo with the inbounds. He'll work it across, set it up with Argent. Argent and Moyer. Inside, Simonelli ran out of real estate, curled back out. Daibo trying to duck in, gets a step. Twister right on, and he went through the crease, and that will give possession back to Toronto. Dilks. He'll look to move it up. Good quick pass, finds Ford into the offensive end. They'll slow it down now and be a little more deliberate here in this offensive set with Buck. Buck gets a step, bounced out, shovel in tight. Good cross check, and now here comes Minicello. Has Ellerton with him. Has a trailer. Minicello, bouncer wide of the mark off the net and back the other way. And looking deep down, Buck couldn't handle that pass. Retrieves it. That would have been a golden opportunity for the Monarchs. And with the skills of Tanner Buck, he does not miss from that close. Pfeiffer. So the first penalty over now, and it'll be a power play for the Riverwolves. That one gets lofted down. Paris will take over with 45 seconds left in the man advantage. They'll get it over the timeline. Woodland now will set. Swing it around. Merritt. Moyer. Woodland. Got to be in that triple threat position. Woodland got to look. Simonelli. Chase back out with 5. Simonelli. Woodland. Bullet. Right on. Stopped by Watson. Rebound. Dunkerley has a man with him. Dunkerley gets pushed ahead. Has Harlan. Dunkerley rolls in. Great save, Cosgrove. Big momentum shifter there by Chase Cosgrove. Woodland, dying seconds of the penalty. So both teams do a great job on man short. That shot wide of the mark. That's going to be a tough one for Daibo. Gets a good hop. Almost knocked over the line. No reset. Simonelli let that go. Kuminga made a great save, but by accident. And that ball will sit there. Toronto will be in no rush. We're under 8.5 here in the third. 3-goal lead, Monarchs. Winner of this game books their ticket to next week's Final Four. Championship weekend. Pfeiffer. Skip across to the dancer. That backhand pass. Good job by Pfeiffer, though. Boy, it seems like he's like Velcro. Trying to get it. Jennings in tight. What a move. What a save. Oh, my. Chase Cosgrove rocking the house with that one. That was high-rate robbery. Daibo now. Goaltender does his job at one end. You need the offense to step up at the other. Woodland will take that on the run. That one, easy one for Watson. That goes back in. That's a back-in call. And from my vantage point, that's a back-in call. And it'll belong to Paris. 7.5. Davis Prince, he's been quiet. They need the Prince to show up sometime. Daibo from way out, almost snuck it through the wickets. But with 7:22, that's going to take us to our officials' timeout. Back to the inbounds, Fife Dog after our officials' timeout. So Toronto, both teams have dodged bullets here. It's still a 10-7 game. And they'll work it around now to Gesso. Kick back out, working with Dance. Plenty of time in the shot clock. Buck puts on the brakes, changes direction, shovel back. Fife Dog splits two. Fife Dog wrapped up. Boy, he had a stick on him. On the move now, Paris. In transition, and they'll think better of it as Hanser will get it to the Prince. Prince, he's hounded too, and now it's Merritt. So need a little something more from Caden Merritt. He's been quiet. That off speed didn't work. That shot didn't work. And Simonelli. So no reset. Now let's try to shoot the ball like you mean it here. Moyer diving. Moyer! Did that cross the line or not? And the officials say it's a goal. So we can't dispute it up here. Our vantage point, we totally lost sight of the ball. But a big goal there closes the gap now to 10-8. So big one from Carson Moyer as he fearlessly dives to that net. And it trickled past Watson. 6.5 to go here in this third quarter. And this game may be one of those games that it comes down to the team with the final possession. And off the draw, Ellerton had it. Battle ensues. Both teams going hard. Argent wheeling around. Had it momentarily, but it's picked up now. And it's over and back by Heidecker. There was too much going on, and it was already established on the offensive end. So clearly an over and back call will give possession to Paris. Angus. Daibo. He's been quiet in this one. Expect him to step up sometime. Daibo changes direction. Inside tight, and that feed to Simonelli, boy, would have taken a whole lot for that to have been executed well, and that ball will roll, so shot clock violation will give Toronto possession. Dilks will leg it up to Ford. Ford with a man on him. Brown, good pressure. Ford stays steady, gets it over, set it over to Dance. Dance finds Menzies. Cody Menzies on the run. Menzies, ship it back. Gesso inside Ford. 5 in the shot, wide open. Dancer off the post. Bergsma had it, lost his footing. Battle back, and Riverwolves don't defer. Got to go get it, and it's Woodland. Prince will ship it over. Merritt will send it down to Moyer. Moyer. Seven on the shot clock. See, Woodland needs to get in much closer to be more effective with that hard shot he has. And that one again, Toronto's D has just been so tight. They have been very stingy here as we hit the 4.5-minute mark. Third quarter. Quarterfinal number 3. On the curl, Innes, stopped by Cosgrove. Rebound loose, and there's the difference right there. Gesso taken down, and that's clearly a penalty. And if I had to venture a guess, I'd probably say Connor Scott may be in the mix somewhere in that pile. And I think he's going to be the guilty party. That was clearly a high stick. So Connor Scott will make the walk to the penalty box. Pretty familiar with that route. And an unsportsmanlike is going to go to Jordan Dance. So I'm not quite sure. It looks like Innes is going to head to the penalty box, and Dance is going to get the extra for too much chatter. And he's still talking over there, and could be a pivotal point in this game. We've seen that happen before. So clearly going to be an illegal cross-check's going to go to Scott. Innes is going to get one for retaliation. Not sure what the details on that'll be. And Jordan Dance is going to get at least two, for talking too much. So there's one of those instances where you just got to be disciplined. So the initial penalty was on Paris, so I'm not quite sure what the big protest is from Toronto. And good job by crew chief Mac Abbott to give the Monarchs a explanation anyway. So there'll be 4 minutes on the clock right now for Paris. So it looks like Connor Scott's high stick was a 4-minute major. And when you check a guy that high, and not only did he check him, but then he pulled back and yanked him down with it, and that's where the extra 2 comes in. You've got 2 up there for Dance, 2 up there for, I'll check and see if that's Innis or Gesso. So we're just waiting for them to readjust the clock, and remind our viewers, of course, that game 2 to follow this one here at the ILA will be the Peterborough Timbermen and the Six Nations Snipers. So still looking for some clarification. So it's going to be a legal cross-check, a rough, dead ball foul, 2 of those, and too much talking. So we'll play some 5-on-5. So it looks like when it's all said and done, they're all offsetting. And we'll go back to playing some lacrosse here. So had Dance kept his mouth shut, really, it would have been a potential power play opportunity for Toronto. Instead, we're all even here. 2-goal lead. Zipped across. Moyer, recovery, plenty of time as he'll bring it back around. Left side. Trying to curl out. I'm not sure why he would force that issue. There to track it down. Shoots it back. Merritt tries to tap it. Gets tapped away, but lots of time. Still 5 seconds on the shot clock. And they'll leave it and let that one roll back in the hands of the Monarchs. So Toronto now will set up on offense. 3.5 minutes to go here in the third. Pfeiffer swings it across. Ford gives it right back. Battersby. Skip pass, 10 on the shot clock. Ford gets the screen. Tries to duck in on Minicello, nothing doing. Curl out on the run. Gesso, swing around. Fife dog. And he went to the bounce, but wide of the mark. So both teams have tightened up their D here. And they are limiting the opportunities for both of these offenses. Dybo with the inbounds, and he'll work it to Woodland. This is where Woodland's got lots of room to operate. Argent, another one, crafty in some space. Dybo, dump off. Prince, great save, Watson. Stuck out that left pad, and Watson does just enough. 2-on-1. Lemmy curls back in. What a stick check by Argent. I tell you, Ty Argent, boy, that's a crafty guy. As he came around the weak side with the theft, and now Dybo. Great roll on that. Gets a step. Good help on the rotation. Notable absence here, of course, for the Toronto Monarchs is Patrick Thompson. Transition. Guy would have made a big difference there as that ball loose. Woodland with 2 seconds left. And possession will belong to Toronto now. So it has been a tight third quarter. Pfeiffer, Morrow on him. He'll work it over, and they'll kick it to Buck. Ford. No look. Fife. Inside. Posting up Ford. Lost it. Got knocked away. Great work on defense, and it's Ellerton that scoops it up. Ellerton in the mix with Bergsma. Argent jumps in that rush. Ellerton, Bergsma thinks better of it. That's a good veteran move there by Graham Bergsma, not to rush it or force anything. Argent, Heidecker on him. Argent into the double team. Got to get rid of it. Great defense by Toronto as Dilks closes the door, and he'll try to move it over the line. Good switch hands. Dilks finds Jennings. Jennings puts on the brakes. Going to be a delayed penalty coming to the Riverwolves. And another too many men on the floor call, trying to get back too quick. And that will give Toronto now their fourth power play opportunity. 2 for 3 with the man advantage. So with a minute 18 to play here in the third, another chance here to extend that lead. It's 10-8. So Dance will quarterback this power play set. As usual, give everyone a touch. Dance to work, and he finds the mark. Jordan Dance, just a good overhand to beat Cosgrove. Their third power play goal of this game. Third goal for Dance, and it's 11-8. So once again, special teams. Right now, the difference in this game, 3 power play goals and the deficit's 3 for Paris. And we don't have to remind anyone of what Coach Dubrick had to say before, and that was one of the top things on his list. Stay out of the box. Nakamura battling for it. Dunkerley comes away with it. Dunkerley has quietly been extremely effective in this game for the Monarchs. Buck. We're into the final minute here, third quarter. Battersby swing across. Pfeiffer skip. Buck goes up top, way up top. And Fife's not going to get that one. That's going to go deep. Ellerton's going to run it down deep in the offensive end. 36 seconds to go on the clock. Ellerton, he'll retreat. Woodland now. Set it up, working with Simonelli. Argent out late. Give and go, working with Moyer. Moyer dumps it off. Woodland. That's the shot Woodland's looking for. Couldn't find the net. Picked up and moved up by the Monarchs. 12 seconds to go here. On the run, Harlan. Harlan dumps it off. Underhand right on Cosgrove. Cosgrove going to air it out or hold on to it. He'll hold on to it 3/4. Have been played here at the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. 11-8, Monarchs. Good to go after our officials' timeout. So I won't say a mountain to climb right now with just over 7 minutes to play, but the Monarchs certainly have their fate in their own hands here. Question will be whether or not the Riverwolves can pull that carpet out from under them. Simonelli works it over the timeline. He'll dump it off now, and it's Moyer. Moyer gets a step, try to twist her. Still lots of time on the shot clock. Woodland. Moyer, 10. Moyer can't shed Dilks. Dilks right on him. Moyer. Tell you, that might be a good time to maybe move the ball a little bit more, as the offense for Paris has become very predictable. And that's where you got to give credit to the Toronto's defense, as they have shut down some of their key weapons here today. Innes swinging around, working with Pfeiffer. 10 on the shot clock. Buck, good skip. Pfeiffer right on. Cosgrove, he's going to pick that up, but it gets knocked out. He still fishes it nicely and will move it up. So here's Paris now once again being very deliberate on offense, but they don't have the luxury of time. Time on the side of the Monarchs. Daibo working around to the Prince. Prince, look for his shot. Kaminga will bounce him out. Daibo has some room. Daibo skipping. Steps back wide of the mark. Woodland can't hang on to that, and that'll be an over and back, and it'll belong to Toronto, and some embellishing there. That may be in soccer, but not here, as that was incidental contact, and Peyton Wallace with possession now. Pfeiffer. So Paris now has to extend their D. They do look a bit winded out there, I'll tell you that. So Toronto now 5.5 minutes away from a trip to the Final Four, and that's a crease ball. So Cosgrove, quick outlet. Here comes Ellerton. Ellerton with Angus with him. Ellerton ducks in. Ellerton trying to shovel and does. So Nick Ellerton, realizing the nature of the situation, attacks. Another transition goal for the Riverwolves, and it's 13-10. Say again, not a whole lot that Nick Ellerton doesn't do. That's his second of the game, and I say to you that Paris has been most effective when they have worked in transition in the flow of the game. They've gotten out of that, and now with just over 5 minutes to play, they trail by 3, so still within striking distance. If you're a Monarchs fan, I know you're sweating just a bit, as calm and cool as you may look, and possession now belongs to Toronto. So they'll move it up, and you got to figure the Monarchs aren't going to be in any huge hurry here. But again, you can't play keep away, not in this game. 5-minute mark. Gesso. Kick it back out, swing it around Ford. Ford, look to get a step, goes to the overhand. Good shot, right on. Stopped, though, by Cosgrove. Fresh 20, Innes with a chance. Innes stopped by Cosgrove. Rebound, Ellerton, twister ahead. In transition now, here come the Riverwolves. Moyer with numbers, dumps it off. Angus scores! Transition offense, the thing for Paris, and it's a 13-11 game. First postseason goal for Marley Angus, and again, when you talk about the flow, that's the way the game's played. And now, with just over 4.5 to go, if the Monarchs fans were sweating before, they're definitely sweating now. So possession belonging to the Riverwolves now, and it's Angus. So see if Angus feeling it now. See if the Riverwolves can capitalize. Merritt, Daibo jump shot off the post. Rebound going to be a battle for it here. Daibo, speedy, but it's scooped up, and it's Dilks. Toronto with it as we hit the 4-minute mark. 2-goal game. Toronto trying to hang on. Jennings. He'll curl back out, create some space now, and dump it down to Buck. Buck working with Dance. Buck has it slapped away, Mancini. In tight, going to be a penalty called. A legal cross-check. Menzie scoops it up for a fresh 20. But there was a reset, so they will play on. 3.5 to go. Delayed penalty to Paris. Joel Watson makes that ever so slow run to the bench. 10 on the shot clock. Dance. 5. Dancer stopped by Cosgrove, and with 3:13 to go, the Toronto Monarchs will go back to work on the power play, where they are 3 for 4 with a 2-goal lead. So I don't have to tell you the importance of this power play here. And what Toronto has to be careful of is a bad carom that could give Paris a chance to counter in transition while shorthanded. So here we go. Usual suspects out there for Toronto. Dance the quarterback. Fife. That shot wide of the mark. There's that Karam, but Fife dog under that. No reset. Dance with space. Brings it off the iron. Here's the transition with Ellerton. Pops out. Hanser picks it up. 3-on-1. Hanser scores! My, oh my. Back to the transition game. A short-handed marker coming from an unlikely source as Brett Hanser weaves through and beats Joel Watson. It's 13-12 with just over 2.5 to go. Still a minute 24 left in the Toronto power play. They could certainly even things out. But I just tell you that I've seen a lot of Karams, and this Paris team, when they get into flow and transition, that's when they're most dangerous. Moyer, they'll spread the floor here. So with just a 1-goal differential, you don't have to push the panic button under 2.5. Moyer. He'll keep the feet moving, dancing around. Moyer. Try to avoid that in tight. Going to get run down, though, by Daibo with 10 on the shot clock. Daibo gets a step, gets that shot right on. It lays there, and Kuminga's going to pick it up, loft it up Dunkerley. We are officially at the 2-minute warning. 1-goal lead, Monarchs clinging by their fingernails here. At the ILA, it's been an outstanding game. Pfeiffer, 35 seconds left in a man advantage. Dance, that one goes off the shoulder and out of play for a reset of 20. And boy, nerves all around. The only ones that look cool out there are the players. Dance, can't beat Cosgrove. Cosgrove will find Brown. Here come the Riverwolves, back door. Good job. Trailer, Simonelli wide. And it's going to go back. Kuminga's going to get a chance here. Mason Kuminga in alone. Kuminga! Kuminga! Well, one good Karam deserves another. And you talk about an unlikely source. Well, the defensive specialist, Mason Kuminga, makes good on the breakaway and restores the 2-goal cushion. Seriously, I can't make this stuff up. What a ball game here. Off the draw, Nakamura knocks it away, scooped up. Moyer, got to attack. Moyer, kick out. Ellerton, down low as Nakamura not able to finish on the quick stick. Ellerton goes down in a heap. We are into the final minute. Toronto a minute away from the final 4. Harlan over the timeline, works it to Buck. Buck avoiding the double team. Pfeiffer. 45 seconds, give and go. Buck just over top. Rebound Jennings. Pfeiffer, no reset. Pfeiffer, twister off the post, on a play, will stay right here. Possession Toronto, 37.2 seconds. Kicked way back out. 30 seconds left. So a 15-second, Jennings wide open, but he can't hold on to it. Paris, gotta go. Gotta go, Angus. Numbers. Angus scores! .8 seconds left, and it's back to 1 goal. Marley Angus. Second of the game, and you got to figure there's not a bigger draw than this one here. Ben Heidecker, Koichi Nakamura, this is where it's going to come down to with 19.8 seconds left. Paris needs possession. Nakamura shoots it back. Ellerton calls timeout. And some extra correct. Best to stay out of it. Possession to Paris. Timeout called. 12.5 seconds on the clock. So the final possession will belong to the Riverwolves. They'll do everything they can to try to tie this. We'll take a breather. We'll be right back. So here we go now. The final 12.5 seconds of regulation time. Riverwolves with possession. They'll have to start in their own end and move it up. It looks like Toronto's going to elect to allow for them to make that move. Net empty for the extra attacker. Here we go. Curtis Woodland. 10 on the game clock. 8. Merritt. Play. Shovel. Stop. Watson holds it. And Toronto with 1 second left. They'll just toss it down the floor, hold it, and this one is over. The Toronto Monarchs hang on for a 14-13 win. They advance to next week's Final Four. They join the Brampton Express and the Whitby Steelhawks. What an outstanding game. Congratulations on a fine season. Jamie Dubrick, Chris Driscoll, and the Paris Riverwolves. Great season, and we will see you next year. On behalf of the